What is the market telling me this week? There is some amazing macroeconomic data that's going to come out, and we're going to get to it in this report. This is the Nick Rutherford Report, and I'm your host, The Angry Investor. So hit that like button, leave me a comment, share this with someone who would get a lot out of it, because this is the place to be for the financial news that matters for your net worth. Please excuse the lighting. I'm trying to get it to work, but I wanted to rush this video out before 5:30, so let's get into it. Two incredibly important pieces of information that have come out this week. And no, it is not this NATO membership or nuclear weapons thing that has had the internet set on fire about whether we'll have a war. Personally, I'm not too worried about that when it comes to investing. When it comes to my health, my family's health, and the entire peace of the world, I'm very concerned about war. But when it comes to investing, this is not a concern. Why? Because typically in the past, if you look at history, and I love to study history to predict the future. And in the past, when war breaks out, usually that's the absolute bottom for the market. So if the market was really worried about war, it would be telling me that it is selling off. Now, of course, we could have war, and if we end up with some sort of huge nuclear disaster war, well, the investments, they're really not going to matter. So that's out of my control. I'm not worried about that from that standpoint. So instead, I want to look at the data that really matters, that really could have an effect on your investments. Because over the years, we've had wars, we've had riots, we've had all sorts of things, and business has carried on. So if you're a long-term investor and you're not trying to trade this thing, I wouldn't really worry about it. That's just me. Now, there's been some incredible data that comes out. So this is one of the big pieces of news that everyone was waiting for. Advanced monthly retail sales. So retail sales came out yesterday, and for September, it is up 0.4%. Now, this is fantastically bullish news. Why is this fantastically bullish? Simple. People are still spending money. They're not spending less money. So that means that the economy is going to chug on, which probably means stocks are going to go up because there's money circulating, more goods and services being sold. That's it. It's not really that complicated. In fact, investing is not that complicated when we look at the data and keep it simple. So what's going to happen next? Well, the fiscal is going to propel the market higher. Nothing else matters. That's been my base case. That's what's been happening. And the other possibility is at some point, the employment market will break and the market tops out and then grinds lower. But until I see that data, I'm not worried about it. Let's look at the market, because what the market is telling me is that Bitcoin is consolidating. It looks like it's consolidating and about to break out. Will it? I don't know. What's very interesting is the gold chart. The gold has been ripping upwards. What is this really foreshadowing? Is it foreshadowing some sort of crisis? Is it foreshadowing that inflation will come back? Is it foreshadowing that less people want treasuries, so they're buying gold? I really have no idea, but I've been in my gold trade for a while. It's going up. The market is telling me it's going up. If I look closely here, it kind of looks like we have passed the mark of that double top that a few people were worried about, and now we're breaking to all-time new highs. So I'm pretty bullish on that, especially because all the gold bugs don't seem to be that bullish. Now, the S&P 500 is hitting new all-time highs. We definitely didn't top out in July and September like it looked like. And this is interesting because typically markets, they do go down until the election, just historically. And this is just telling me that things are good, because a lot of people are worried about a recession, but I never want to fight the market. I want the market to tell me what to do. And the market is telling me it's game on, it's going up. So that's how I've been positioned since way back. If I zoom out here, it's how I've been positioned since the end of 2022 and early 2023. So until the data tells me otherwise, I'm long. Now, I want to get to the most important macro piece of news possible on the planet. And many people may have overlooked this, but some people following AI and the chips haven't. And this is TSMC, Taiwan Semiconductor, reported its earnings yesterday, I believe. I would have to look at the front page, but they reported it this week. And if you look at this page is page 4 in their report. They are up 39% net revenue, right? If you look right below my face on the right side here on their report. And this is year over year, they're up 39%. So this is very simple. This leads me to the NVIDIA chart. NVIDIA is now breaking out to new all-time highs on this news. If TSMC is selling more and more chips, do you think the AI revolution is dead? Do you think that the entire sector of tech that's actually making money and capitalizing AI, and they're building data centers, and then they're going to be building nuclear power plants to fund those, to give power to those data centers? Well, it looks to me like the trend isn't still intact. And that is my number one rule for investing and looking at macro. It's to look at what are the trends in the economy and then to get in early and capitalize on those trends. And right now, this trend is not slowing down. In fact, it's accelerated. It's accelerated 39% over last year for Taiwan Semiconductor. You can see it right here. It's in the data, and the data is telling me to be extremely bullish just based on this. So until the data changes, I'm not going to change. And that is this short wrap up, because this is all you need to know. And until the data changes, I'm not changing. So hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, share this with someone who'd get a lot out of it, and I will see you next week. How am I using this information to protect and grow my wealth? Go to highreturnlowrisk.com.